Saw this from Jack Posobiec, but I just verified the articles. Here's an article from Slate, November 19th, 2015. Donald Trump is actually a moderate Republican. That's why he's winning. November 19th, 2015. And then on November 25th, 2015, Donald Trump is a fascist. Now hold on. The original article, Donald Trump is a moderate, written by Jamel Bowie, and the second article, written by Jamel Bowie. The same dude a week later. He wrote Trump is a moderate, that's why he's winning. Then he wrote Trump is a fascist. Why? They are evil. There's no legitimate reason why a sane person would say, I'm going to write an article calling Trump a moderate. And then a week later be like, I'm going to write an article. Oh, no. Oh, I just discovered he's actually a fascist. No, what happened was everybody was going after Trump. So this person probably thought, if I write that he's a moderate, I bet I get a ton of traffic from people who are going to be like, what? What do you mean? How? And then a week later, okay, been there, done that. I'm going to write Trump's a fascist and get a million more views. Welcome to the media.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's part of the clickbait. They need you to be so shocked by the things they're saying and these points that they're putting out there. I find the hysteria around Donald Trump to be completely personality based. I bet most people can't really distinguish anything about his political platforms. Or I should clarify, most people who are identifying as progressive journalists, they don't know the nuances of differences between Republicans. They just know that Trump does things they don't like and they don't like him the most. And so therefore, whatever they have to say to make him the bad guy. It is weird. There are times when you'll see sort of more left-leaning outlets almost praise other Republicans to make Donald Trump look bad when there's sort of no informed opinion other than they aren't Trump, so therefore whatever they're doing is okay.
But this type of disinfo that causes hysteria and panic is so dangerous. But I mean, when you ingrain into, let's say, 50% of the population that this Republican frontrunner is a fascist, then that label then is applied obviously to people who would vote for him and those who support for him. And then what do good moral people do against fascists? Well, we want to bash them. And it normalizes that type of acceptance of political violence. I'm speaking, unfortunately, as somebody who's been a victim of the violence of Antifa because of these labels that have been applied to me. And then, I mean, with the event that I just spoke at in Richmond, the script that was going out to these different venues that canceled, it took the third venue for me to actually be able to speak. People would just call in and say things like, you have a neo-Nazi who's speaking, there are armed neo-Nazis who are coming. As this event goes forward, people could actually die. And people in corporate PRs are just freak out. They're like, okay, well, they'll cancel it. And that's the danger, I think, of, you know, we can laugh at this and look back, and because I think all of us here at the table are grounded. But there are actually so many people, even highly educated, perhaps it's the most educated, who are vulnerable to this type of hysteria and disinfo. But I take it so seriously, and I'm so angry at how sloppily people use these labels of like fascist and like dictator and all these type of terms as if it's like okay to just throw it around. And apparently now, you know, people just do that with like reckless abandon. Yeah. And it's like, you know, people who instill that into their beliefs, like actually take up weapons and like maim and like kill people on that belief. That happened in Portland with a self-described Antifa member who shot dead a Trump supporter because he really thought this guy was this white supremacist fascist, just murdered him in downtown. Yep. So
you were saying before that you felt like the younger generations are sort of fueled by this political divisiveness, so they won't listen to other people. And it makes sense because they're completely surrounded by it. There's no escape and there's no accuracy in reporting.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I always wonder if there is going to be a reckoning at what point. You know, we had, I can't remember who it was, maybe Marjorie Taylor Greene on a year ago or so, and someone who was at the table said, I'd actually never listened to anything but random clips of you, and hearing you talk, it definitely changed my opinion, or it gave me an insight. And I find this really interesting because I think there are so many people who aren't exposed to anyone, but other people who are similarly afraid of these labels of fascist, and, you know, anyone who's brushed by these words are obviously out to get them. And so there is a natural, it almost makes sense, resistance to it. You don't want to be affiliated with them, but if you're completely right, if the labels are misused, then their fear and their willingness to maybe react violently is based on inaccurate information.
During the